Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Welcome back to the Farm and Home Show. I'm Kristin Hildebrand, filling in for Joanna Coles this week. And today we're talking with Steve Garner. He's our IT manager with the Agriculture Communications Service with the University of Kentucky. We're talking about National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and that's for the whole month of October. We talked a little bit yesterday, Steve, about especially using mobile devices.
Correct.
But
yes.
We're taking it today and talking about some of those home devices or maybe even the networks that they're using at home.
That's right, Kristin. Cybersecurity at home is important too. Just about everyone now has internet at home via a network, and they need to make sure those are secure. They need to make sure their devices are secure. They need to make sure their children are aware of proper ways to compute and have safe computing.
You know, there's a lot of devices that we're using at home. It might be our mobile device, it could be on our iPads, or it might even just be using the wireless network, and even on our smart TVs, there's always something that's got you know, connection. So there's always things that we can do because those internet places might be unsafe. So what are some things that we can do to be more mindful, especially the security side of things?
Well, like you just mentioned, you have all kinds of devices connected to your network at home. So basically, for your home network, you have a Wi-Fi network that devices are connecting to. Some of the things you need to make sure are that you're changing the default password on your wireless router. Don't leave it to, make sure you're using good passwords for connecting to your wireless network. Make sure you're using the proper encryption levels. Definitely you can Google on the internet to see what things you need to do to make your home network secure, but definitely make sure you're using good passwords and your network is secure.
Let me ask you a question in regards to the password. The password kind of needs to be complex. It doesn't need to be something really simple.
That's right.
Because I know before I was using my own name or abbreviations of my name and then my birth date, but that's not really the best password to make, right?
The best advice is to create some kind of passphrase. Maybe use a series of words and take the letters off those words and then put some numbers into. A lot of us do use our children's names, our family names and so forth in our passwords. That's not a good idea because people can Google on the internet and find out the names of your children or your family via Facebook or whatever. So I know it's difficult to keep track of all those passwords, but there are some things that can even help you do that. There's password manager programs, there's a program called LastPass. There's a Dashlane, which I use for my password manager. You can store all your passwords in one password location. Sure, it may sound like, oh, well, if they're all in one location, it's going to be less secure. But those companies that do that, they're very secure, and it is a safe way to store your passwords.
So that might be a better place to store those passwords rather than just on our phones.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, writing them down somewhere or creating a text file and putting them all in there on your phone. While those are convenient, they're maybe not the best things to do.
How often do we need to change that password? Do you recommend like every 30 days, 60, 90?
I think every 90 days is acceptable for changing there. You know, what you need to do with banking apps and so forth, since you might not be changing the password so often, is make sure you've enabled things like two-factor authentication. That's maybe when you log into a banking website or any kind of financial type website, you enter a password and then you're prompted for something else that only you would know. Maybe it's a school that you went to, or one of my sites that asks, what was your high school mascot? Something that you would know and maybe a hacker or somebody who gets your credentials would not know. So using things like multi-factor authentication, or maybe a PIN number. You log into your banking website, you input a password, then you enter a PIN. Doing those kind of things are just one more layer of security where you don't have to worry about the bad guys getting into your accounts.
Right, right. Now what about for folks that have families or small children?
Definitely. I know a lot of folks, you know, you let your children use your iPad or your computer, and, you know, hopefully they're going on good websites and so forth. What I recommend in that case is, if you can, set up one account for the parents to use, and then you're probably doing your banking and so forth on the computer, and you use that account. Set up a secondary account that your children can use. That way you're at least creating two accounts. If something happens when they're logged into their account, they can't necessarily get to the things that you are doing. So that's always a good precaution you need to take.
Okay, awesome. Is there any other things that we can do while we're using our devices at home?
Another things you can do is with your children is I recommend you just pay attention to what sites they're going to. There's ways to implement parental controls in web browsers. just educate your children on proper things they need to do in regarding to cybersecurity.
Absolutely. Education is definitely, talking to them, having that conversation with them is the best thing to do. Steve, thank you again for being here. If you would like more information about October being National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, give your local extension office a call. We'll see you back here for more at Farm and Home.
Thank you.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.